Chaos seems to follow Chrisean Rock wherever she goes, and the latest chapter of her tumultuous life involves a whirlwind of drama with Blueface, her on-again, off-again partner. This time, the fallout comes after news broke that Chrisean is expecting a baby with her new man, a revelation that Blueface didn't exactly take well. From behind bars, he made it clear that he wasn't thrilled, and his reaction has only escalated the drama. Before heading to serve his sentence, Blueface reportedly allowed Chrisean to leave their shared home, but now that she's moving on, the emotional weight of that gesture feels all too real. Blueface's response to the situation hasn't gone unnoticed, and it sparked a war of words between the two. Chrisean didn't hold back, accusing him of disloyalty and suggesting he was up to no good even while incarcerated. What was once a volatile relationship has now reached a whole new level of public spectacle, with both parties airing their grievances on social media. Despite Chrisean's many tattoos dedicated to Blueface, her swift shift towards a new chapter in her life has raised eyebrows. Just when it seemed like she was getting serious with NCAA athlete Titan Newton, Chrisean introduced yet another new man, leaving fans stunned. To further solidify that she was truly moving on from Blueface, she made the announcement that she was getting her iconic face tattoo removed. "I'm taking my time with it," she shared during a conversation about the process. While some questioned if she was truly ready to let go, it seemed clear she was serious about putting that chapter behind her, at least for now. However, Chrisean's promises to move on have been notoriously short-lived in the past. After Blueface's relationship with Lil Mayu was made public, Chrisean didn't hide her jealousy. She tweeted, "The duo we didn't know we needed," and even released a song mocking their romance, openly expressing her frustration. But in the end, she took Blueface back when he begged for a reunion, only for the cycle to continue. This time, the situation has taken a darker turn. Reports suggest that Chrisean is pregnant with Blueface's child, but allegations of her infidelity with Titan have also surfaced. Meanwhile, her behavior has drawn criticism, with fans expressing concern over her smoking and drinking while expecting. The situation has only become more complicated with Blueface's mother, who has long disapproved of Chrisean. In a rare moment of support, she celebrated Chrisean's apparent decision to move on. "Won't he do it?" she cheered, showing a rare moment of joy for the end of their relationship. As if things couldn't get stranger, even behind bars, Blueface continues to stir the pot. After learning about Chrisean's new relationship, he reportedly asked his father to remove her belongings from their shared home. The pettiness didn't stop there. Blueface also posted a bizarre video on Instagram, showcasing a woman who claimed they had been dating since 2015. The timeline of her story raised some red flags, suggesting that Blueface might have been seeing her while still involved with Chrisean and others. This prompted questions about how Blueface was able to communicate so freely from prison. The use of illegal phones is common behind bars, but the fact that he openly shared this video with his massive following raises eyebrows. Who is helping him with these communications, and why would he be so reckless in broadcasting it? In true Blueface fashion, he's been unapologetically messy, even from jail, further cementing his reputation as the king of drama. Despite widespread concerns that Blueface's reckless behavior could ultimately land him behind bars for good, many believe his actions are anything but impulsive. Rather than a series of missteps, his behavior appears to be deliberately calculated, part of a larger strategy to keep himself in the public eye and maintain control of his narrative. Now stuck in prison, far removed from his usual routine of hanging out with friends like Chrisean and Jaden in the afternoons, Blueface's boredom seems to be taking a toll on him. With limited options for entertainment or distraction, he's turned to increasingly erratic and attention-grabbing acts to fill the void, as if to prove he can still stir up chaos, even from behind bars. Prison life, which might have grounded most people, appears to have had the opposite effect on Blueface. Without the usual distractions, he seems to have spiraled further into a pattern of provocative behavior that garners as much attention as it causes trouble. It's almost as if he's become addicted to the chaos, finding ways to make his name known even when his freedom has been taken away. His boredom, combined with his need for constant attention, has manifested in some bizarre choices, none more jarring than his recent declaration that another woman is his wife. This came as a shock to many, considering reports that Blueface and his on and off again partner Christian Rock had actually tied the knot while he was incarcerated last year. If these reports are true, Blueface's announcement about his new wife has only fueled an already simmering fire of drama between him, Christian, and his various other relationships. Given the complexity of his history with Christian, who has been a frequent figure in Blueface's life, this new revelation has left fans and critics alike scratching their heads. How could someone who had seemingly been in a committed relationship with Christian, even going as far as marrying her under difficult circumstances, suddenly declare someone else as his spouse? It's clear that Blueface thrives on stirring the pot, and this move feels like another attempt to escalate the drama for the sake of attention. But it's not just the marriage announcement that has raised eyebrows. Blueface's continued antics while behind bars suggest a deeper desire to remain relevant and to control the narrative, even in a confined space. With no access to the outside world in the typical sense, he's forced to rely on social media, phone calls, and the attention of others within the prison to keep himself in the spotlight. As he can't physically interact with people, he's been using social media as his outlet to express his thoughts, share details about his life, and, perhaps most significantly, throw subtle or not so subtle jabs at those in his orbit. This need for constant validation and attention doesn't just impact his personal relationships. It has created a toxic environment where everyone around him seems to be caught up in his drama. Whether it's his complicated history with Christian, or his strained connection with his family members, Blueface seems intent on maintaining the spotlight at all costs. His actions in prison, whether it's declaring another woman his wife or mocking his son's health struggles, suggest that his thirst for chaos is not only intentional, but is part of his identity. At this point, Blueface's behavior is no longer just a product of his reckless tendencies, it's a strategy. And as long as he remains behind bars, it seems his antics will only intensify. Whether it's provoking Christian, making bizarre announcements, or throwing shade at anyone who crosses his path, Blueface has found his new way to stay relevant. Christian, his on-again, off-again partner, hasn't taken his actions lightly. She quickly responded, accusing Blueface of being disloyal, even while behind bars, and calling him out for his troubling behavior. But the drama doesn't stop there. Blueface's family dynamic is just as messy. His mother, Carissa, has never been a fan of Christian, adding yet another layer of tension to this complicated situation. After Christian and Blueface's tumultuous relationship took another blow, Carissa defended the decision to distance Christian from their lives, urging everyone to heal and reconsider their connections. "You need to take her new man and his family into account," Carissa stated, pushing for a more civil approach as the two families tried to navigate the mess that's been created. But it's hard to ignore the jealousy bubbling up. With 2025 arriving, it's clearer than ever that Blueface and Christian's relationship was toxic long before they had a baby together. And the arrival of their child hasn't done anything to smooth over the damage. The public wasn't shocked when Blueface started dating another woman, and Christian's response to this new relationship was harsh. She even wrote a song mocking them, expressing her frustration and pain. Despite claiming she was done with Blueface, she often found herself back in his arms whenever he begged for reconciliation. This pattern has continued, but things feel different this time. Christian is now pregnant with Blueface's child, and some of her choices, like smoking and drinking while expecting, have sparked backlash. Amid all of this, Jaden, another woman tied to Blueface's tangled life, weighed in. She tweeted about her frustration with Blueface, calling him out for being a deadbeat dad. Christian didn't stay quiet and responded, taking Blueface's side, which only deepened the rift between the two women. She pointed out how Blueface had been neglecting his kids, even bragging about ignoring calls, adding more tension to the already messy situation. As the back and forth between Jaden and Christian continued, Carissa's involvement made things even more complicated. Christian accused Blueface's mother of using their children as leverage, adding to the drama. Despite the ongoing turmoil, neither Christian nor Jaden seems able to fully break free from Blueface's grip, leading to more toxic exchanges online. Jaden called Christian out for flipping sides, pointing out how she went from defending Blueface to getting pregnant by someone else, while Christian fired back, accusing Jaden of desperation and hypocrisy. It's a never-ending cycle of drama that seems impossible to escape. Both women are caught up in the same web, with no clear way out. The situation is like a tornado of hurt feelings, broken promises, and unresolved issues. Fans are watching this unfold with a mix of disbelief and fascination, unsure of what will happen next, but knowing that this drama is far from over. The most recent twist in this saga came when Blueface lost his temper after seeing Chrisean and her new man, Titan Newton, getting close on social media. He sent his father to physically remove Chrisean and her son from his home. Blueface's reaction wasn't surprising, considering his history of instability and insecurity, but it adds another layer to this chaotic relationship. After being thrown out, Chrisean surprisingly admitted that she felt relieved, a rare moment of clarity in an otherwise tumultuous time. Now, with Blueface sending threatening messages, Chrisean is left wondering what might happen next. Will he go as far as sending people after her and her son, or will the chaos finally calm down? This wild ride shows no signs of slowing down, and with the stakes getting higher, it seems like there's always another bombshell waiting to drop. The drama continues, and fans can only watch as this saga unfolds. The situation took a sharp turn when Chrisean went live on Instagram just days ago, sharing the painful truth about the ongoing harassment she and her son Junior have faced from Blueface and his mother Carissa. According to Chrisean, the attacks were completely unwarranted, with Carissa reportedly using cruel language to insult her son due to his cognitive challenges. Meanwhile, Blueface allegedly took to social media, reposting videos that mocked Junior's health struggles, further deepening the hurt. Chrisean opened up about how she initially tried to forgive Blueface when he first crossed the line, even when he posted their son's private moments online. She thought he was genuinely remorseful, but over time, the truth became impossible to ignore. Blueface's actions were deliberate. It became clear to Chrisean that he harbors disdain for Junior and seeks to publicly humiliate him at every turn. It was a breaking point for her. She not only called off their relationship, but also confirmed she's in the process of divorcing him, admitting that she regretted marrying him in the first place. Chrisean expressed that she had been naive when she first agreed to marry Blueface and that she did it out of fear. But now, with a renewed sense of clarity, she is taking control of her life. This decision came at a time when the public's judgment of her intensified, particularly after a viral video showed Junior exhibiting signs of autism, which led to harsh criticism. The lack of support from both Blueface and Carissa pushed Chrisean to her limit, leading her to sever ties with him once and for all. She couldn't understand why Blueface continued to mistreat their son, especially considering how, just 2 years ago, he publicly shared private moments of Junior on Twitter. Chrisean's frustration was palpable as she described the emotional toll of dealing with Blueface. She said, "When I stand up for myself, he can't handle it." It became clear that, in her eyes, his behavior was more about control than care. "It feels like he's an anchor, holding me back," she explained, as if his presence in her life was stifling her potential. Chrisean reflected on the overwhelming sense of being stuck, realizing that she could no longer allow him to dictate her choices or her future. Further venting her anger, Chrisean shared a recent incident where she was having a serious conversation, trying to focus on her goals, only for Blueface to interrupt with his usual antics. He began telling stories about other women, and one of them even mentioned Junior. Rather than addressing the issue with the woman, Blueface posted the comment to his story, fueling Chrisean's frustration. She pointed out that her issue wasn't with the girl, but with Blueface himself. "He's completely against our son," she said. "It's demonic, really demonic." Her disgust was clear as she described his ongoing disrespect toward their child as on another level. Chrisean also admitted that she had been answering Blueface's calls out of fear, not love. "I shrink myself when I talk to him," she confessed, feeling the need to dim her light just to avoid provoking him further, especially when it came to their son. It was a toxic cycle that she could no longer continue. Reflecting on the strange dynamics of their relationship, she recalled how Blueface had previously followed then unfollowed his own mother, saying it wasn't out of genuine affection, but rather out of manipulation and control. At this breaking point, Chrisean has made it clear that she's done. She can no longer allow herself or her son to be subjected to the cruelty and manipulation from Blueface and his family. While the journey ahead is undoubtedly difficult, Chrisean seems determined to take back her power, protect her child, and move forward in a healthier, more positive direction.